People always wonder, LeBron or Michael, and it's kind of crazy to think about. But there is no comparison, to be honest. The only way you can compare is the way their body regulates. I mean, if you think about it, the sport itself, like Michael said one time in an interview, back then was so different. Think about the fans. They could get away with so much more than you'd be able to get away with today. That brings a different type of hype to the game while they play the game, because it's a different type of vibe for them to play with. Think about the time period it was in, as in playing a racial card compared to nowadays. Okay, think about the composure LeBron has to keep these days, the way he's been told to keep the composure, which he's done a magnificent job with, because everyone's looking for now a role model. More than back in the day, it was a lot different. Not saying that Jordan was an amazing role model, but you'll just have to understand what we're saying to just relate it. Not to say who's the best. I mean, there's so many different chess pieces in the game. So basically, it's kind of picking and choosing for all the different options you can go with for the game. So when you talk about defense, there's no point to compare it. I know everybody wants to. You can't compare it by numbers. I mean, you kind of could. You could definitely kind of compare it by numbers. It'd be a pretty interesting comparison, and you'd have to find something to be like trying to find pi, like the next number to pi. But it's definitely a crazy target to try to shoot at. I mean, you have to put Kobe Bryant in there completely. You just have to, just because, I mean, rings also are something, because that brings a leader. If they're always on the field, if they're always taking the hardest man, not always taking that side category. If you're that person that you have to guard that person because they're the best person, but yet you're still putting up so many more options. It's that right there in itself is just proving why Kobe Bryant has to deal with being one of the greatest and not even realizing it. Because he looks up to Michael Jordan, okay? Everybody looks up to Michael Jordan just because Kobe had a little taste of it, though, so you can't even compare LeBron to Kobe just because the way that they grew up, everything is so different step by step, and we're dealing with a very tender area of time in this world. So basically, you have LeBron, or you have Jordan. Jordan's back then. He's dealing with a racial card. He's allowed to get away with a little bit more, but he also has to deal with a lot more, with going to the hole every time and getting checked. Always looking over your shoulder a little bit more. So that's giving you more drive, more motivation, more physical mind setting that I'm doing this because my mind setting right now is saying F you to everybody else because I'm sick of listening, sick of being touched, sick of everything that you have been doing. It's time to just murder you every single time I have the ball. Okay? And Kobe, I mean, he has a little bit of a taste for that, like he's got that mediocre mind setting of that, but of other mediocre mind settings also, which is now creating all of his tenderness into just one solid form. So now that's just, I'd say he has the all-around flavor of just everything that was compacted into from Michael Jordan to now LeBron. Okay, he has all of that. LeBron can basically only compare from Kobe Bryant to right now. So when there's a new player that comes in, right into play, right before basically LeBron to Kobe. So now you're thinking who's going to be the next person that LeBron is going to face that is going to be the next top player in the game. You get what I'm saying? Because now since evolution's taking its course, that means that Kobe is now going to become Jordan. LeBron is going to then become Kobe. And then the upcomer is going to then be looking at LeBron. And it's just going to keep that process going. But at the rate everything's going, everything I'd say, everyone's just not becoming as physical because it's just not the right mindsetting that we put towards everything these days. If you understand that and can regulate it to what I'm saying. But back in the day, I mean, just the human mindsetting, we snap so much quicker, you know? Like you slip up and you do one thing that you don't like, oh, right back up into your face. So there is no way to compare unless you put LeBron up into Michael Jordan's situation. You get what I'm saying? You you can't compare LeBron because LeBron doesn't have to take on so many more shoulders, so many more just checks. He definitely has had his share, but I mean, he also is a complete different body build. So when he goes to the hole, it's going to be a lot more strength, a lot more just fight with him that people are going to take him as, wow, I'm going to back down just a little bit. For Michael, he's going to sit there and he's going to drive the hole. People are just going to want to hit him all the time because he's a little bit lankier. Okay? Not saying he's still not huge. Just compared to LeBron James, he's a little bit less. But that results then in Michael Jordan has a better balance with his body, which allows him to be a better shooter. Okay? It's just that simple. So then you're breaking down the game a little bit more of, okay, yes, LeBron James can shoot, but he's also very good at scoring his points going to the hole. Okay? Michael Jordan can go to the hole and he still can shoot amazingly. Okay? He can also go to the hole and he has hops, so he can jump a lot higher because he's a little bit more lanky, allowing his body to build a little bit different for his leg muscles to then give him a boost up off of the ground, okay? If you actually fully knew who I was and the things that I've developed throughout my life, you would understand everything because you'd start following exactly who I am. And then you'd be like, wow, well, following who I am right now and the things that I say are what then would make me build up to be somebody like Michael Jordan, somebody like LeBron, somebody like Kobe. But now you're developing that aggressive type of mindsetting that Michael Jordan had to have or else he was going to get dominated, okay? You're going to have the type of learning technique, process, push motivation that Kobe had, looking at Michael Jordan as just a retrospective version of somebody who I want to idolize and be like, because he's the start of a future for all the kids like us, okay? All the kids like Kobe was, okay? Then you have LeBron, and LeBron's doing the same exact thing, but he's hearing it more, and he's watching it, but he's watching it and developing at a smaller age than Kobe is, because Kobe had to watch him while Kobe was doing what Kobe already did, but now just gaining more tactic of what he can now learn watching one of the best play. LeBron now can watch game film, can watch all of it, but in the moment of time, it's so different, okay? Because they're all doing it at different ages. So then you're talking about the age card, but Nobody wants to hear about the age right now because that's just a mumble of just a brain mind concept that's bringing you in a different type of thoughts and feelings. I mean, there's really, back to the comparison, it's definitely hard to compare unless it's the same exact moments of time, same exact everything. But the thing is, if you study each one of them and the right person studies them, like for me, I absolutely wish that I could be in front of Michael Jordan's face right now, talking to him, getting a little bit of knowledge from him, because that actually develops me as a person more for mind settings to figure out differentialities from players like him, Kobe, and LeBron, and just in so many different ways, okay? Because if you think about it now like this, Michael Jordan went off and played in the MLB, okay? But the thing is, if LeBron played in the NFL, he would have been one of the best players of all time. Hands down. It's just hands down that he would have been. First off, because basketball players are the most athletic players in any single game, except wrestling. But wrestling doesn't use a ball, it uses just your body, okay? So then when you put a ball into the category, it's going to be a lot different, okay? Because it's a different type of hand-eye coordination that you gain from playing the game. You know, just like playing all different sports, but basketball in itself is just the most, you have to be the most athletic player out there to be one of the greatest players, you know? And you'll be able to take on any sport and be one of the best natural talented athletes at that game if you are one of the best basketball players out there. It's hands down. I mean, you could put it to the test, but like I said, you have to know exactly who I am. You have to know the things that I've done ever since I was little growing up. But it's not about me. It doesn't really matter about me. It's just the things that I have just built up throughout my lifetime and now can relate to different things that I see. So F this kid right here who really cares. I mean, don't F his knowledge, because his knowledge is something very, oh man, I haven't even given anything like crazy motivational in this, because I'm just talking about people that I can relate to instead of the things that I actually develop myself. So it's just something just pretty unreal to think about, but now I need to just shut my mouth. So just take it for what it is. I mean, think about it. You could study all the players and think about the things that I said with breaking so many different chess pieces down into the game, you know, has to do with the vision of being able to see other players, the passing that you can then do. Okay, let's say they all are very good at that. All right, well, that means that they're already the best ones. So basically, they're all three of the best players in that right there. Okay, shooting, most definitely Kobe or Jordan. Driving to the hole, I'd say LeBron and Jordan. Ball skills, man, that's something I'd have to just study a lot more, but I definitely say Kobe's one of the best ball handlers, just hands down. Um, maybe that's his thing that he has above all of them, and that's why he's looked at as one of the best. Okay, but it's also his foot skills. It's also being able to make a move and getting a little bit more space from his component to then have that room to put it up. But that's when you bring the shooting into the pinpoint of what it is. It's also the gameplay that he has. If he's very good at shooting by the free throw line all around, well then if he understands the game of that is his game, and that's how he scores his points, well then that hands down is making him one of the best players anyway of all times for that chess piece category. Okay? Basically, I guess you could then say, when you want to get calculative with it, it comes back to basically averaging out all these different chess pieces and how good they are at them. You know, like that's like the only way you could do it And that's just like the only way you could do it. That's about it. Yeah. But for real though, any person I could break down, help out. But that's again talking about me and the things that I know and the knowledge that I've been through throughout my life. So that being said, not everybody. Alright, let me see how we could word this. There are not that many professional coaches out there, but somebody has to be one of them. And hands down, I am one of them. I just need somebody to realize that like this type of knowledge that I could bring, but everything else that I bring, like my own chess pieces, understanding different chess moves, and then allowing everyone the understanding of each other chess piece moves to fit together in the bundle to then make everything go crazy with the mind setting to the way your body actually regulates to the vision to the hand-eye coordination. It is just ridiculous, okay? It's just, it has to be that pinpoint moment, how it is. That's how coaches work their magic. All coaches are different. The thing is, I sit there and I could break down coaches, but why break them down when I could just be like that Robin, but bring more than what they actually bring, but in a whole different category? So basically, it's like putting Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron on the same team together on the floor at the same time is the type of coaching mechanism that I could bring to help. You get what I'm saying? It's it's championship winning right there.